Morning, folks. I'm installing my swivel seat today and I'm super excited, which some of you may think is very weird, but I suspect if you're watching my channel, maybe you don't. The first thing that you have to do when you install a swivel seat, if you're going to take the seats off of your Promaster, I have no idea if this applies to other van types, but for the Promaster for sure, I've done enough research to know that this is in fact the case. You have to disconnect the battery, because the wiring that goes underneath the seats that you will have to disconnect in order to remove the seat to put the swivel bracket on is the wiring for the airbags. And you just want to be sure that you don't have that happen. You don't have them deploy while you're doing this. It would be very expensive, be very dangerous, be no good, very bad day. So I didn't know this until I did my research, but the battery for the Promaster is actually underneath the feet of the driver. And so I'm going to, I haven't actually looked yet, we're going to do this together. I'm going to open that up and see what we have under there, and then disconnect. In all the videos that I watched, it was the negative that they disconnected. So I don't know if I've had enough coffee for this, but you have to leave it disconnected. Every video I saw said the recommendation was 15 minutes. I'm going to leave it disconnected for longer than that, because most of the videos I saw, they left it longer than that, just to be sure. So I'm going to disconnect it and then do another project that will be in last week's video on the back door, and we'll get to installing the swivel seat, and we'll see if it's something that I can do by myself. I have confidence that I can do it by myself, and I also have confidence that it won't be as simple as I think it's going to be, because no project ever is. However, every project is doable. First, you need to remove these little bolts here, little screws. There's only one that you need a screwdriver for. The rest you could do with a flathead screwdriver, a short one. Or I'm just using a toonie, which is the Canadian $2 coin, because that works just fine. Okay. So there are some little flanges, little lips on here that make this mat a little bit harder to get out. You just have to sort of work around them. Okay. Now, here is the battery on the Promaster. And what I want to do is loosen or disconnect this black wire, which is the negative one. So the nice thing about this one is that it's got this, I'm not sure if you can see this quick disconnect lever. If you just push this out, then I should be able to wiggle this off. So wish me luck that it's as simple as that. It's of course it'll be tough. Oh no, here we go. Awesome. And then let's see if I can wiggle this off. Connection. Aha! Okay, so now I've disconnected this. Now I really want to make sure that this doesn't accidentally reconnect while I'm working on this project. So what I'm going to do is tuck it back there, and then just to be sure, I'm going to lay this in here. Oops, sorry for bumping the camera. And I'm going to set this on top so it can't get back there. And that makes me feel much more secure, because now I know that that battery is disconnected and will not reconnect while I'm working on disconnecting the wires that go underneath the passenger seat, because they're the wires for the airbags. And while from my research it did show that it's not likely that it will set off the airbags to disconnect them, it's possible. I don't take any chances. Safety first, you know my motto. So now I'm going to wait, I don't know, probably an hour-ish before I get started on disconnecting the wires for that seat. That wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So far, so good. Okay, let's open this package up from the Swivel shop in Vancouver, British Columbia. That's where I got this. Now, full disclosure, they gave me a discount on ordering this. I did pay for it with my own money, but I got a discount so that I could review it. And I told them that I would give my honest opinion of the product and how easy it was to install. But I've heard amazing things about these swivels. They're called Scopema, probably Scopema. Anyways, they come from France. And so they are more expensive than some of the ones you can get on Amazon and such. But they have a very low profile, which makes them quite popular, and they're very, very, very well made. And I thought if I was going to buy one, I was going to get one that was well made. I mean, especially since it's something that when I'm in the van, I will be using all the time. And I was not looking for a discount when I ordered it. I would have been more than willing to pay full price for it. But they did offer me $100 off the price, which I'm not going to say no to. Any companies out there want to send me products for me to review that are tiny house or van related, especially van related, I am more than happy to do that. Or a discount on anything that I'm already going to use. Solar would be awfully nice. Things like that. Batteries, things like that. Anyways, I digress. Let's open this sucker up and see what we've got here. All right. It's heavy. I will say that. But I think that that's, again, I think that that's a very good thing. I'm not sure I want something that's not well built. I'm a little concerned about one thing. I've heard that you need spacers for these brackets for the Promaster. I don't see any spacers here. It comes with no instructions. I've heard that from other people. Don't know why it comes with no instructions, but it does not come with instructions. You can immediately see the difference in the shape from other swivel seats that I've seen. Oh, wait a second. They did come with spacers. Yay! So here's the thing. The Scopema has one of the lowest profiles, the lowest, raises the seat the lowest amount of virtually any swivel base on the market. However, because I've got a Promaster and the it's this bracket that holds the seatbelt assembly, that's what hits. So you need this spacer, and this spacer is about 1/2 inch. So that's going to raise it more than it would if I was in a different type of van. I don't think you need to do the spacer for a Transit or a Sprinter, but for a Promaster you do. I don't care. I'm going to have to put something under my feet anyways. I'm only 5'4". Wow, that makes me so happy because last night, as my father-in-law likes to say, I was thinking whilst I was sleeping that I hadn't specifically asked for the spacers because when I ordered it, I didn't know about the spacers. So here's what we've got. We've got our swivel base. We've got our 2 spacers that we need for the Promaster. And we've got our nuts and bolts I have 2 bolts to unscrew up top. First thing I'm going to do is get rid of this case here. This case holds your tire iron and all the other tools that you need for fixing and replacing a tire. I'm going to take that out. Oh, pardon me. So I've pushed my seat all the way forward, and we have 4 bolts that need to be removed here. So I'm going to slide this sucker all the way back to get the ones in the front. Okay, so it's really hard to see, but here's where the wires are. There's a big clump that's got a wire tie around it, and I'm going to cut that wire tie ever so carefully, making sure that I don't get any of the wires, just the wire tie, so that this bundle gets loosened up, so that I can then slide the seat over just a little bit more and disconnect the wires. We've got an orange, a yellow, and then there's this black one over here. So what we have to do is pop these down to get access to these. Okay, 1. 2. Okay, so we have the yellow and the orange loose. Okay, with these ones it's fairly easy because there's this little purple slider. You slide the purple over and you disconnect. They make this look so easy on the YouTubes. That's 1. Ow. 2. Okay, so those ones are good. Now I need to get this off. Okay, that's better. Oh, I was pulling on the wrong thing. I was thinking it was going to separate here. It actually separated there. Holy cow. Okay, so that's done. Hallelujah. And now I can take that seat off. I swear the hardest part was getting this sucker turned a little bit, because you need it turned, activated a bit so that you can get to the screws. Now, the next step is to put the seat on, and these spacers go on top, not underneath, not between, on top. And this is to clear the seat belt bracket. All right, after much frustration and a steep learning curve, it's in, and I just have to hook up the wiring. The number 1 tip, if you remember nothing else from this video, this is the number 1 tip. These bolts, especially these 2 at the back, have to go in bottoms up. They're the long ones. They go in bottoms up with the nuts on top. If you don't do that, the nut will hit this little piece here, which is the stopper that keeps the seat from swinging this way when you have it facing forward. These 2 have to go in this way. Learn from my mistakes, my friends. Learn from my mistakes. It is now time to reinstall the wiring. This is going to be fun. Should be pretty straightforward because we are doing color to color. Let's do the black one first. This way. Okay. Now the orange. Such a satisfying sound. And yellow. And now I'm going to try and get them back up into those brackets. Might help if I didn't put it in backwards, huh? huh, folks? Okay, we're going to put the orange up here, and we're going to put the yellow up here. Okay, and then I'm just going to tie up some of these, but making sure to leave lots of loose so that there's room to swivel. Let me try the swivel. Does it pull on those? Nope. Nope. Okay, good. So I can put a zip tie or two here. All right. Okay, that's done. There's room for everything to move when it's swiveled. Nothing's tight, but it's nice and secure. All that's left is to reattach the battery and then put everything back. And snapping that bracket. Swivel seat is installed. Been a long day, mostly because of my amateur antics, not because the product was inherently difficult to install. I just don't know what I'm doing. You know, for somebody who knows what they're doing, it's probably something that'll take an hour or two. It took me about 3.5, 4 with stopping, putting a band-aid on my leg, watching some videos again, going to the website, looking at the instructions again. So it didn't need to take that long. It was actually pretty straightforward. So I hope that my video helps in some way. It's just reality. This is what it's like for me, converting this 2017 Dodge Ram Promaster into a camper van. I got my swivel seat installed, and that feels really good.